Hello everybody, how are we all going this very day? This shows you where I am today. Hello. My brain just switched on so I can do things. Anyway, welcome back. Today I've got the other 6 origins that were meant to be from yesterday, but then I kinda destroyed my throat off of the back of one origin that was ridiculous enough that I laughed way too much, but we're back here again. And I do intend to go through the remaining origins in my little list. So, I do actually intend to get through the other 6 today, no matter how long it takes. It may take a few hours, but it is what it is. How you guys going this very day? So we've got Mr. Cool is, Blue Clone, 𝓵𝓷𝓷𝓴𝓼, and Samba's in chat, because of course he is. How you guys all going this very day? I feel weird. Just a little bit of a madman who's doing some things, so yeah. I'm doing good. How about you today? Yeah, considering this is the first thing I'm doing in the morning, doing some streaming. It's only like 12 PM. I've not been awake. I've only been awake for like a few hours because I was up till after almost 2 last nights this morning. Makes sense, whatever. So, if you missed out on the last stream, we ran through an origin known as the 𝓵𝓷𝓷𝓴𝓼, the Faker origin, the 𝓵𝓱𝓲𝓷𝓰𝓼 origin, and the 𝓽𝓱𝓲𝓷𝓰𝓼 origin. Now, we're going to be moving right along into the next origin of the collection. So, loading up to this thing here, which is going to happen first. Is it going to load the world, or is OBS going to catch the game? One of the two. Oh, OBS caught the game. Let's go. Also, I need to do this at least once. I keep forgetting to do this every time, but if you want to help support the channel, you can become a member and get fancy things like this. Fancy little messages show up in chat like this thing here. Look at that. They're really like cheap. I think it's $1 Australian. I don't remember how much it is anymore. And also, if you're an Android, you have the ability to gift memberships to people now. I don't know how useful that's going to be, but it's there. You can gift memberships to other people because YouTube actually does that now. Whoa. Oh my. Lag. Stop this. Okay. Okay, now we move into the next origin. Next, we have the Mosskin origin from Blue Clone. This is the 2-impact origin. Descendants of the species of moss evolved over thousands of years. Let's get into it. Oh god, we shrunk. No, it's not right. First ability is camouflage. Toggle with your primary ability, you turn to a moss block. Mobs won't detect you, but you can still take damage. Movement speed is greatly reduced, and you cannot break or interact with blocks or items. So, press G. You become moss. You can slightly move. You move like a little bit like a moss. But if we, let's say, grab... Why am I getting... Lol. Just got a scam message. That's hilarious as hell. So, let's phase into the block a little bit. That totally doesn't look weird at all. Not at all. Okay, I should probably just get out of there. So, if let's say get ourselves a husk over here. Go G to... Go survival mode. Press G. You can't see me. I am invisible to the husk. The husk doesn't know I exist. I'm just gonna roam Just gonna roam, do my thing. Hey yo, it's a husk over here. What are you doing? Bump, bump. Hi boy, bye. He hit me once and then I disappeared from his existence. That's hilarious. Anyway, so that's an interesting ability. Next, you got Moss Spread. You can turn certain blocks at your feet into moss, spreading it around you. This costs hunger and will not activate at 6 hunger points, 3 shanks, or less. This is your secondary ability. I should really be more aware that there's 2 husks floating about me, but if you press Y here, it doesn't affect any of these type of blocks. Oh no, there it is. I see a moss there. Probably just gotta... Yes, it does directly the block that you're standing on top of. So let me say it's an honor to have you review my origin, my dude. Hey, we all have fun here. Origins is cool. What if we go over here? I'm assuming this will work for any block that can be infected by moss. Just by right clicking. Doesn't work when you're standing in tall grass. Wonk. I see what you mean. Because that'll actually do a lot instead of 1 block. That's really cool. Just slowly spread the world with your moss. Slowly spreading the moss throughout the world. The world is just going to accept that there's things called moss. That's the wrong button. Moss. Moss. Look at all this moss we're creating over here. Oh no, we're being spotted. Haha. Haha. Well, you big boy. I should just get rid of him. Out of here. No one likes you. So let's see how much hunger this actually takes. Got a big open area here. And then we press Y. That didn't seem to consume much hunger. This is interesting. Because it also creates some long grass as well when it does that effect. But here we are. We got more moss. We're slowly converting the overworld into moss. Because this will be our mossy place. Waiting for this ability to cool back down again. So we can test it one last time. That must be an ability that we're going to see in a moment. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Let's go over here. Oh, it's because I'm on top of moss already. Doesn't do much. Let's just go up over here. Step here. Bonk. Got a little more moss about us. That's pretty chill. Mossy, mossy, moss. I don't know, you just spread moss with an ability. With a very minimal hunger. Dampened. You're empowered when wet, dealing more damage to mobs. Ooh. So if we... go over to here too, where some water is. It's a creeper. Why would I go to the water, actually? When I can simply just test it over here. So a husk, 10, dead. If we, let's say, get some water over us. You know, maybe I shouldn't be critting. So, 8, 9, 3. Without water. 6, 7, 7. Ah. So you have about an increased damage of 2. About 2 points in water with a diamond sword. If we, let's say, downgrade our sword to something a little more less potent, I should really organize my inventory so much better. Lordy lord. So without water, it's a 5, 6, 6 dead. With water, 7, 8, 5. That's a long reach, by the way. So yeah, it's about a handful of points of increased damage. It's about 2, 3, 4. It's not massive amounts, but it's enough that it will probably make the difference between whether you kill in a fewer amount of hits, especially with lower end swords. Photosynthesis. You gain saturation from direct sunlight. This is wet equals rain too. Hint, hint. Weather. Thunder. That's just mean. So this ability also seems to affect you when it's raining, meaning that if it's raining, it's the perfect time to go out on a hunt. See this creeper here? He had no idea what was coming. He died. Anyway. The weather. Boy, weather. Weather, bye. Bye. I feel like I'm going way too fast for this. Photosynthesis. You gain saturation from direct sunlight. That would probably be why the ability from before wasn't draining hunger. Because I was in direct sunlight. So if we get out of direct sunlight, let's say we move down to here, then press that button, that still hasn't touched our saturation too much. Maybe we'll the second time around we do it whilst we're outside of the sun. Rechargeability, boom, boom, ba-dee-dee-dee, boom, boom, ba-dee-dee-dee. I don't know, don't ask me. I could easily resource pack this, but I'm too lazy today. Why am I yawning? I'm yawning so damn much. Takes a bit to break the saturation. Yeah, that makes sense. What version are we on right now? We're on the Mosskin. So we press again. Bonk. What? Bonk. It's so dark in here. Either way, if we leave for a moment, and we just start sprinting around. Bong. Well, that's not helpful. So, yeah, for now, because we're still in the sun, our saturation doesn't seem to be really doing much for the decretion. Actually, I think a really good way to get it to quickly decrease is by bonk. Yeah, our saturation's still pretty much at full. Did that? Seriously? I pick up one random egg, immediately throw it, and it spawns a chicken. Hilarious. That's just convenience. I don't know why, but it did. So yeah, throughout the day, your hunger is going to be pretty peachy, especially if you're outside. Far out. Stop it, body. You're not meant to be tired. You're supposed to be wide awake, bro. What is this? Sleep is for the weak. And the wicked. Don't know why though. Just is. Just is, my friends. What do? Back to it. I feel like I'm all over the place today. Anyway. So now that we're at night time, I should be able to break the saturation layer now. With some damage, maybe? Surely I've done enough to break through it yet. Come on, saturation. Saturation. Husk. Hurt my saturation. Why is that not broken through? It's a lot of saturation. Yeah, it refuses to break through the top layer. Bonk. Bonk. What's happening? Might have to nerf it. It's entirely possible. Because it doesn't seem to break even though it's nighttime. So okay, that's an ability that will be changed by the creator. Because that seems a bit wacky. One with foliage. You can travel freely through moss and leaves. I mean, we've been watching me do that now as I'm trying to get saturation. You see these leaves here? You see this tree here? This husk is following me? That's fine. I've failed. Ignore that. We try again. And look at that. When they're up high, the husk can't touch us. Can't get us. Ha. Suck it. I am up here. You are not. We are not the same. Hey, creeper. Run away. Run away. I'm being followed at this point. Whoop. 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 Aha! You can't touch me. Whoop. Whoop. Hi. Boy. Can't get me. Oh, just go off. You rude. Yes! One went off. Let's go. It's close enough for you? Yes, it is. I need to wait for it. He's over there, though. Hey, boy. Hey, buddy. Go over here. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm just playing with fire right now doing this. But yeah, you can phase throughout any form of leaves, and if we move over here, I can disappear into the ground. Disappear for... Oh my god, it finally broke through the saturation layer, and oh my god, that did take a bit of saturation. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Run! Run away! Run away! Run away! To the moss! Oh no, I'm out of hunger. This is not good. This is not good. Into the moss. We can't be spotted from here. We're good, right? Sink. When landing on moss, you sink into it, allowing you to not take 4 damage from moss. That is interesting. So first off, time set, day. Then we want to weather clear for 5,000. And I probably want to go creative mode for this quickly. Hey zombie, bye zombie. So if we get ourselves some moss over here, and we make ourselves a landing pad, right? And I just go up. We literally just go up. We go up, and then whoop, we fall back. We take no damage. But if we do the same thing, we go over here. Whoop, damage. So you can potentially do something like that. Clutch with moss. Another thing that I think we could possibly do, I think this is a dangerous game I'm playing, but no. You can't use your secondary ability to try and block your fall because it doesn't go off until you hit the ground. So you can clutch with a moss block because it really is just that simple. Whoa. And you can place it before you hit the ground in most cases if you're smart enough to avoid your fall damage altogether. Waiting for the cooldown to roll through. What you can't do to avoid fall damage is spam Y, because that won't go off until you've hit the ground. So that's a pretty interesting thing there. Pretty neat, you can avoid fall damage entirely though. Flammable, you take twice as much damage from fire. I mean, what else do you expect? Your foliage, effectively. Your green foliage that burns. Like, I mean, if we just simply light moss on fire, it's gonna spread? Yep, there it is, it's starting to spread. So, logically speaking, if you're a bit of moss, and this is what fire does to normal moss, logically, fire gonna hurt. Fire gonna hurt, a lot of hurt. Wow, I died. Shame. Just some moss. Had to place it. Ba. And fragile. You have less hearts than normal. So yeah, you have 5 hearts instead of 10, which is pretty massive. I mean, yeah, logically, if you are poorly doing, you get no chance to think about that. If you touch lava, it's like boom, dead. Yeah, literally tapped lava, it's dead. I want to try it one last time. And whoa, and bonk, donk, dead. Yeah, you touch lava, you don't survive. Unless you have a water bucket on you, you literally won't survive. I want that. So there are some little side notes that I've picked up on that aren't in the actual Origins description itself. So first off, you're clearly about a block tall. We go over to the side here. You're just barely less than a block tall, meaning you can crash down and get underneath some pretty small gaps. Secondly, you got a bit of a green haze to your character now, which doesn't really do anything, but hey, it's nice to know. And then another thing, the creators put it in chat here saying you can't eat most foods. You look through here, so you don't have access to most foods. Golden apples are an exception, but we keep going through. Pretty much everything is inedible. The only things that aren't inedible are golden apples, and then because who takes away anyone's ability to eat cake? If we go over here, we can still eat cake. Because this is where we have 1,000,000 cakes from earlier. Cake just cause lol. I mean, everyone leaves in the cake regardless of how you're meant to eat as a character, because it's cake. Why would you get rid of the cake? That's just mean. One last little bit of moss here, just for the effects of the spawn area. Anyway, that is the Mosskin origin. We move into the next one. Ah, it's this one. If you put in that much effort to make cake, you deserve to eat it. So, our next origin is the B origin. This one is created by the user known as 𝓵𝓷𝓷𝓴𝓼. He decided that there's been a lot of B origins, but he don't find them any fun or unique, so he made a more unique one, which is both fun in solo and with friends. This is a 2-impact origin. The B race cannot jump, but they can flap their wings slowly and can be seen gathering dollops of honey from puny flowers. There's also advancements to this one. Lots of noises. But yeah, now we're at B. And a little cool thing, there's a little addition that you can do with this one. You can also get a resource pack for this origin, which if you pick the data pack that also allows the use of the resource pack, as you can see in my hotbar, you've got a different color hearts of more orange, you've got a honey experience point bar, and you've also got honey pots for your hunger, which is pretty neat. Moving into the actual abilities, we got Flutter. You have no need to jump and flutter your little wings instead. You hold space to flutter, you can toggle the flutter on and off by pressing your secondary key. So, as you can see, it's only holding it does not do much, so what? Hold spacebar, yeah. So you hold it, it just keeps you jumping, press Y, and then you can fly. But keep in mind, if you're not holding your spacebar, you'll fall back down. If you are holding your spacebar, you can allow it to fly. This gets rid of your jump almost entirely, because instead when you have the ability off, instead you have a slow jump that has a lot of slow fall with it. So this kind of makes these jumps a little useless. It's basically like a very mini flutter, if you will. So we toggle the ability back on again, which you can tell the ability's on by the wings that are above your hunger bar. You press Y, you see the wings there now. If you press Y again, the wings should go away. So that's how you can tell what mode you're in. It has a bit of a cooldown for all I can tell there, but now we put it on, we can now flutter. We slowly rise into the air. It's nowhere near as fast as creative mode flight, and this is in creative mode flight because it's effectively giving you levitation too whilst you're holding the spacebar key. And the moment you let go, it disappears and you start floating back down to Earth, which is pretty interesting to say the least. Pollinator. Using your primary while on a small flower will give a random status effect depending on the flower. Each flower gives something different. This is an active ability, used with primary key. Currently I've given no information on what the effects of the flowers each give. If you want to know, DM me in Discord and I'll let you know. So, let's go through some flowers and see what we get given. Also, we've got a glass bottle, which is pretty neat. Let's put that up here. So I just want to go through some of the bare basic flowers. Boom, 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 boom. All the tulips I'm going to assume that all the tulips are the same. Because if I press weakness. Oh, this has got a cooldown. We're going to be here for a bit. Because I do want to take a look at all the flowers. Actually, this is where I should try and do source. It's set. And then I need to find the one for this one. Bing, bing, bing. Well, we can... Oh, it looks like there's one for each individual tulip, which is interesting. Okay, I don't know how this one will work, so I'm just going to have to wing it. So, if we go over here... Okay, so all the tulips will give you weakness. We don't need to worry about that then. Dunk, 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 dunk. That should be all the flowers. Oh no. I would guess apparently this would be... No, time, set, day. What state has coded this many powers in without using multiple? A guy who's been doing Origins for a while. I don't know what... Like, I'm just not going to comment on that then. So... And our first flower, we have the dandelion. When you press your primary ability on this one, you'll be given a brief moment of regeneration, I believe I saw there. I believe that was regeneration for like the slightest of slightest moments. Next, we have a poppy. I should probably wait until the cooldowns recharge because I couldn't figure out which resource this one's going to be. Ah! Oh. Let's just keep trying to figure it out, actually. So, action orb chosen, air affinity, bear food, be small, bees kill, featherweight, fly, 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 flutter, 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 fly, honey extractor, hydrophobia, milk, flower. Poison pollinator. What's the ability called? Pollinator. Okay. So no relevant score holders can be found. It's one of these ones. Cooldown. There it is. 5. Epic. Cool. Okay. Okay. This should be a lot quicker now. And I am just going to start from the start again. So, with a dandelion, pressure primary lead on there, you get saturation. I believe that was. I believe that was a huck. Yeah, I think that was a brief moment of saturation boost. Then if we go back into it, next we have the poppy. The poppy gives you night vision 2 for 30 seconds, which is pretty interesting. Effect, clear me. Move on to the blue orchid. Press the ability. We get given luck 2 for 60 seconds. I should just keep doing this. Next we have the alum, which if we just go through here. Next we have the alum, which will give you fire resistance for 15 seconds. Then we have the azure bluette, which will give us blindness for 15 seconds. Whoa. We move on to tulips, or the tulips will give you weakness 2 for about 20 seconds. Interesting. Boom, and then boom. Move on to the 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼. Will give you regeneration 2 for 20 seconds. Nice. Boom, boom. The cornflower will give you invisibility 2 for 15 seconds. Wow. The lily of the valley will give you poison 2 for 10 seconds. The wither rose will give you wither for 5 seconds. I mean, that one should be self-explanatory. The sunflower doesn't do anything. Neither does the lilac, or the rose, or the peony. So yeah, only the small flowers will effectively do something for this ability, which is pretty neat overall. Honey extractor. If you right click any small flower type with a glass bottle in hand, you can fill it up with honey. So if we clear out our inventory, we get ourselves a bunch of glass bottles. Are they in here? Yes, yes they are. Get ourselves a bunch of glass bottles. We'll go back to normal mode. Right click on a flower, you get honey from there. And as you can see, you get a bit of a cooldown there, and then you can do more honey milking. I don't think it's going to change depending on the flower. You're just going to get more honey. Yeah, you just keep getting more honey as you milk the flowers, which is pretty neat overall. Poison Sting. Your punches are packed with 5 seconds of poison inflicted onto any enemies except for the undead and bow spider types. This will have a 15-second cooldown and take away 1 heart of health each time you use it. So surprised we get honey from wither rose. The more you grow, extract honey from a dead flower? That's hilarious. I love the advancement. Oh, what? You got a wither rose? Let's just get some honey from it. There's none. How does that work? It doesn't. We don't question these things. Oh yeah, so Poison Sting. Your punches are packed with 5 seconds of poison inflicted onto any enemies except for undead and bow spider types. 15 seconds, and it'll take 1 heart of health away each time you use it. So, unfortunately this time, we can't rely on the age-old husk. It's a damn shame. We gotta find something different. A cow. Hi cow, how you doing? Boop. He also walked into the wither effect. And then now, the cow is a 1-punch. If we come back over here, if we get ourselves a new cow, look at him with his 10 health. Man, big boy just looks at me. Look how you going, buddy. Boop. Oh, that dealt damage. I felt like that hurt me there when I hit him. That's interesting. And now, boom. That's actually funny as hell. You got an achievement. Yep. Air affinity. You may break blocks in the air as others do on land. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you're floating, you can break blocks normally, which is pretty handy because a lot of origins with flight tend to forget this little thing, which makes breaking blocks whilst floating a lot more annoying. But you can do that pretty normally here. Good God. Thank you. Be small. Your hitbox and height have been modified to make you slightly taller than a block and the same height as a block if shifting. So if we go into third person point here, as you can see, you're just barely taller than a block, meaning that without crouching, you cannot fit underneath a block. But if you crouch, you can then crawl underneath, which is pretty neat. Bum, bum. Bum, bum. Nectarivore. You are a nectarivore, which means you can only eat honey. In addition to this, honey bottles will give you 4 shanks of hunger and 2 shanks of saturation. Basically a little bit of a buff to honey because it's all you can eat, so it's kind of necessary. How do I get my hunger down pretty easily though? Oh, there's a pretty simple answer to that. Where is he? There he is. Buddy old pal, buddy old pal, buddy old pal. Do you mind? Thank you, appreciate it. Wasn't enough, bro. Do it again. Oh, and again. Oh, and again. Thank you, appreciate it. That should knock my saturation down, hopefully. Can you still eat cake? We'll find out soon. I want to get my honey down a little bit so I can actually show you. Also, I like the resource pack. So what it does with the honey shanks is it takes away the honey from inside of the bottle and then the bottle disappears second. That's pretty neat, I dare say. Tap. Move away. Come on, keep... Why am I doing it this way? I've literally got creative. I've got cheats. Get out of here. If we affect, give, present, hunger, we'll go about 15 seconds at amplifier 50. Watch it burn my hunger. Look at it go. Look at it go. Look at it go. Woo. 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 Effect. Clear. Get rid of it. Eat a cake. Cool, we can still eat cake, because of course you can. But yeah, honey bottles. Now do something useful. Look at it go. Look at that, increase my hunger. Look at it go. Beautiful. What YouTube overlay do you use for your YouTube streaming? What do you mean by that? Because like all I really have is my face cam, chat with some different coding to make it look different, and that's about it. I think I use stream elements for alerts, but that's about it. I don't really do much. Everything's just in OBS because it's simple. Eat the cake. Hydrophobia. When in contact with rain or water, you will receive slowness and weakness along with the loss of flight. So, unlike most hydrophobias, this won't kill you. Because instead, its aim is to make you weaker. Not only is your flight fully disabled when you are in rain, but you also have weakness 2 and slowness 2 as a permanent debuff. which pretty much makes it you don't want to be in rain for too long. Rain gonna hurt. Rain gonna be sad. It's gonna cause you all sorts of problems until it goes away. Bye bye rain. And then we can fly again. Look at that go. We found a unique hydrophobia. I never knew those existed. I believe the people who've made bees have always done something a little more unique for the hydrophobia instead of damage. Except for the one I did for the 100-day series, I suppose. Fly high. Upon the effect of slowness, you will lose your ability to fly. Wait. So if we just fly up here, just a little bit, I should probably, slowness. So slowness for 30 seconds, you can still fly. Huh? Am I dumb? Upon the effect of slowness, you will lose your ability to fly. I seem to still be flying. Maybe that's a bug that's so not supposed to be there. Oh well, it's fine. It's intended to disable your flight, but it didn't. But oh yes, buggy game. It is what it is. Origins will sometimes have some issues. 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼. Bees are much weaker than humans and the majority of other animals. This will give you 2 less hearts. So yeah, you have 8 hearts instead of the usual 10. Not really going to make a major difference. It's not the end of the world. It's not an origin data pack without a few bugs. It really is at this point. Anything's going to have issues, and it is what it is. We don't argue with it. But yeah, that's that boy. Next. This is going to be a big one. So now, we clear out our inventory. We grab ourselves another orb of origin. Now, we move on to the next origin. The Hellish Chevalier, created by the Discord user known as Soki. This is a 3-impact origin. You were a fallen and sinful knight. You came back to this mortal realm and a lost soul decided to possess a nearby... You are a fallen and sinful knight. You came back to this mortal realm as a lost soul, and decided to possess a nearby knight to restore your past status. You took on his regular human form and transferred some of your abilities as a lost soul that are now even further refined in flesh. Let's go. Cold water, cause cold water is some cold water. Cold. I don't know. I'm being an idiot. Don't worry about it. Ha! Bam, boom. Bottom, boom. Anyway, back to it. This is going to be a big one. So, your first ability is Amplified Knight's Lunge. You can propel yourself forwards using the heat emitted onto your body. When concentrated into a small area, it allows you to launch in any direction. This has a cooldown of 5 seconds, applies a small amount of velocity in the direction that you face. This is, of course, your primary ability. So, go into survival mode here. We'll ignore the other changes to your hotbar because that's a later thing. We'll acknowledge it later, okay? Cool beans. So we come over here, we press the G button, and boom! Oh! That was a lot! That was a lot faster than I expected. Okay, we go to third person. Oh, we got some lovely effects. Voing! What if we don't do anything? It slightly propels us forward. So if we're sprinting, that's spoilers. Go back here a little bit. Go back to survival. And then we sprint. Bonk. Okay. So the amount of momentum you carry with this jump depends on how you enter it. If you jump into it, you get a massive amount of momentum for it. If you're simply sprinting into it, you'll just get a little bit of momentum. Actually, that's a lot because of how I looked at it. If you just sprint normally and then jump, you get a little bit of momentum. If you're not moving and then use it, you'll get a little... Oh no, it's not about the amount of momentum you bring into it. I'm an idiot. It's about how you look. You look straight on. You get a small burst in that straight direction. If you look up, you'll get a nice fling into the air, which will have a lot more momentum with it. See? Boing. And if you jump into it, you get a massive amount of momentum. Did I see? I perfectly landed the little bit of water there. That's hilarious. That's so funny. Oh god. So you jump into it, you get a huge amount of momentum. Again, this depends how you do it. If you look, I pressed it first. Seems we got hydrophobia. It does seem that. If we jump by looking down, it will, like, basically the amount of momentum you get out of this ability will depend on where you're facing. And as well as if you jump into it or not, because you get more additional momentum because funky. Boing. Hard. So yeah, you can get some pretty good jumps out of this. Like what? What? I'm going to do something ballsy. This a bad idea? After seeing how this origin works. Yes, it is. Just casually jumps over. No problem, no problem. 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼, just stopping in to say hi. Hello, Stormmaster. Welcome to the stream. How you going this very, very day? That is hilarious. But I love that. Flame aura. Your body temperature is so hot, you literally incinerate impurities in the air around you, creating a blue flame particle effect. I love the description of that. That's hilarious. You create blue flames. Whoa. Cool particle effect. Let's go. Good. How are you? I'm chilling. Having fun doing a stream, you know? Next, we've got... health buff description. I'm just gonna take a bit of an assumption on this one. Strength description. I am just going to assume that is trying to reference towards the fact that you've got 5 additional hearts on top of your normal amount of hearts. Whoa, 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 whoa. Get out of here. But I don't take damage there. Okay, we'll have to figure that one out soon. Hello, guys, Shields. How you going this very, very day? And then I casually accidentally spoiled the next part of this. Oh, my god, I'm doing good at spoiling things on accident, aren't I? Okay. Possession perks. Your human form gives you all the regular abilities a human would. However, you are granted some extra strength as you increase the power of the mortal you possess. You are experienced in this kind of human, as they are not as you once were, mean that they are incredibly proficient in your skills as a warrior. You also receive fire immunity and a regen bonus whenever you're on fire. Basically, permanent strength 1 and regeneration 1 when on fire. That's, wowzers. So yeah, you see permanent strength 1, pretty sure we all know how strength works, there's not much more to explain there. But if we get ourselves a lava bucket, and we just say, where's a little pocket I can pop this without burning the entire place alive? Let's just pop right here. Boom. We walk into it. We don't get set on fire by lava. What? That's interesting. What if we get a flint and steel? No regen. Oh, I think of what's happened here. I'm going to assume that with the fire resistance, they fully disabled fire from affecting you. But because you can no longer... Because that's kind of annoying for the resource to be on screen even though it doesn't affect you anymore. But in turn of that, you also don't get the regen effects because fire don't get on you. Maybe a fire aspect sword or a flame bow will probably do it, but... Interesting. Hunger. Yum yum. We scroll down to the next ability. Cindering armor. You can only wear fireproof armor. For example, Netherite. Don't worry, your natural HP boost will help you during the early game, but beware of the dangers of the overworld. So, unlike most other origins, which restricts you from the high-end armor, this origin says no to the face in the face of all of those type of abilities, and just says, you know armor? You don't get any armor until you reach Netherite. You see? What? We get one leather, then a chainmail, then some iron leggings, maybe some diamond boots. You see all these? We can put them on. I love that. That's hilarious. Pop it on, and it pops off. Pop it on, and it pops off. Oh, that's hilarious. That's brilliant. I love that. I love that. I love that way of doing it. I'm so glad. So instead of just not letting you put it on, you can put it on. It'll just fly right off of you the moment you start moving. That is brilliant. And then of course we put Netherite on. It stays on. The Netherite's the only armor we can actually wear, which is... I love that. That's hilarious. I love that ability. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I mean, okay. I say I like that because it's always nice to see someone do a unique take to it. Usually what I see is that you just can't put the armor on whatsoever. I love that instead of not letting you put the armor on, it lets you put the armor on. It just instead immediately pops it off the moment you start moving, which is a really good way of doing that effect instead. Whee. Blade proficiency. Axes are not your style. You have no idea how to use them and deal negative 2.5 times damage with them. Wow. Swords, however, are within your area of expertise. But how? That just means you do no damage with an axe. So we get a Netherite axe with 10 here. Actually, I'm just going to get a sword just so I can do some initial damage on him too. Because I have a funny feeling of some... I want to test something. So, get out of husk. You don't do any damage. You hit him with a sword. Okay, no, it doesn't do healing, but... Yeah, you just straight up don't do damage with an axe. Your damage is non-existent with an axe. Don't even try. But with a sword, you do a lot of damage. Hold on. Let's go an iron sword so we see more. So with an iron sword, 8 damage, 9 damage, dead. That's like really good. I think that's equivalent to what a diamond or a netherite sword is usually with that amount of damage. And if you get a crit, boom, 13 damage, and you can just one-shot them on that. What about if we get a stone sword? 7, 8, dead. Wooden sword? 6, 7, dead. Wow. This will make it so that it's probably going to be worthwhile making a stone and wooden sword early. Because it literally gives you the ability to do a pretty decent amount of damage. It's not like literally nothing as it would be for normal Minecraft. So that's pretty cool. Bing bong, bing bong. Devilish mobility. You do not take fall damage. I mean, we watched that before when I was flinging myself like a madman in the air. We're taking no fall damage. It's not a problem you're ever going to worry about. Like what? Oh yeah, we got this height? Yeah, bonk. No damage. We're fine. No problem. Nothing wrong there. Everything's hunky-dory. Perfection, as you will. Arrow weakness. Arrows are easily able to pierce your fleshy, limp, mortal body. They deal substantial damage and leave you extremely weak. You take 2.5 times projectile damage. That's a lot of damage. So what, if we just get out a single skull, single skelly boy. Just get him out. Whoop. Go to survival. Let him... Wow. Wowzers. Whoa. Yo, that's rude, my friend. Wow, wowie, wowie. You can just... Ouch. Even with your 5 extra hearts, a skeleton can pretty much 2-shot you. I'm at half a heart from 2 shots from the skelly boy. That is, Hey, buddy. I missed. That like a free shot. I mean, it is effectively a 2-shot because it leaves you at half a heart of health. It's not really massive in the grand scheme of things. All my stuff's in the water, and I heard a skelly. That's hilarious. Bonk. Owie. Hey boy. How you go? Oh, what? Note to self. Avoid skeletons. Yeah. They're not your friends. I want my stuff back. Give me my stuff. Give me more stuff. I want my stuff. Thank you for my stuff. I leave now. Bye, Skelly. I lost all my stuff. Fair enough. I don't care then. Bye. Ba-bum. Dun dun dun. Ba-dun dun ding ding dong dong dee 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 doo 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 doo. Blade proficiency devils for arrow weakness. Droplet weakness. During rainfall, you cannot regenerate as your body is still affected by the small amount of water dripping down on your scorching body. Oh, okay. So you have hydrophobia to normal water, but when it's rain, you just have no natural regen. Your regen's just gone. You can't regenerate health when it's raining. That's actually pretty neat, to be honest. Finally. It still has the normal hydrophobia for normal water, but you can't. But when it comes to rain, it won't just kill you. You just can't regen in it, which is pretty dangerous, to say the least, because you can't regen when you're in the rain. Which could prove to be very problematic. So yeah, be aware of that one. We burn. Soul beam. Produce a beam of soul fire and lost souls you slaughtered during your time spent dead. Well, even more dead than you were now. Than you are now. That was. Cooldown. Long cooldown. Explodes on impact. Does 5 damage. 2.5 hearts. If you miss, it will deal damage to the caster, which acts as a consequence for overusage. Whoa. So what? I must have hit something. That's interesting. Let's figure it out now. Let's figure out how do we get rid of it. What? Origins. It's cooled down already. It's cooled down at the time I was trying to figure out how to get access to it. But yeah, if we miss, we take some damage. Okay, so it's using the sprites of the Warden's ability, which is, oh god, it's a skeleton over there. We don't want that. At least rain can't damage you. Yeah, at least rain won't hurt you. You'll just knock out your regen, which isn't exactly ideal, but that's fine. Did Skelly die? Oh, Skelly died. That's a shame. I suppose we'll just get a husk out. Get him over there. And wonk. That doesn't deal an amazing amount of damage. That's right. I did say it only didn't do much damage. So it's an interesting ability. It's not that long of a cooldown for the damage. I don't know if you'd use this ability too often. It's definitely handy to have. But it's effectively the same as you punching with your strength boost, so I don't know. It's there. Soul Beam. Explosion when not in contact with an entity is substantially larger than when an entity is hit. So another little quirk to this ability is that if you miss an entity, if you hit just the ground without hitting an entity, the explosion will be far larger, causing a little more damage. But in turn, you take damage as well. Though, maybe it's useful when it comes to hitting mobs around that you slightly miss if the explosion hits the mobs and you don't take damage. I don't know, it's a very weird ability. It's there, I don't know how useful it is, considering how everything else's origin's really good. And then hydrophobia. You take lots of damage from water over time, but rain doesn't affect you. 2 hearts per second of water exposure, but rain is not enough to damage you. It broke our block. You go into water, water hurts. Hydrophobia in a nutshell. 2 hearts per tick. Wowzers. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Boom, boom. Ba da da. Da ba da da da. Okay, okie dokie. Okay, we got the next origin. Whoa, whoa. Hello, sorry I'm late. That's fine. Welcome to the stream show. Yeah, that ability is an ability. I don't know if it's effectively great. It's there. I don't know. It's something, I suppose. Sorry, I'm stretching a little bit. Oh. I hate yawning so much. Bad as useful as Endirian in the rain. Yeah. Yeah. So. We move on to the next region. We scroll down to the orb of origin. Next. We've got the magical manipulator created by the user known as Matt E. This is a 3-impact origin. These folks specialize in magics that utilize various types of elements, some of which you can find from the creatures and environments around you, whilst others you create for yourself. Let's go to it. Magic Wielder. You can wield various types of magical attacks. You can cycle through your main abilities by using your secondary, and it will cycle in the opposite direction when you sneak, or by pressing your sprint key if you're riding something. You can use fire. You can use the use/fire your selected ability via your primary ability. Each ability uses up a specific ammo type. You can convert certain items into ability animation by right-clicking when holding the item in your main hand. A few ultimate spells have access to and must be The few ultimate spells you have access to must be selected by converting their ammo item via right-clicking in the main hand. You cannot cancel the usage of these spells once they are selected, and you cannot activate anything from your main arsenal until the ultimate spell is finished. Sneaking will prevent you from converting an item to ammo, allowing you to use the item's vanilla functionality. Your selected ability and how much ammo you have left should be shown above your hotbar as an action bar title. You permanently lose half the ammo on death if keep inventory equals false. Becoming fluent in an ability swapping is essential for your survival in combat. All of your abilities and their details should be viewable as if they were in a different origin layer. Ultimate spells also have shiny icons. So this origin is almost predominantly focused on that thing itself. You have an ability that you can... Sorry, give me a moment to just think about that one. Basically, you have a weapon arsenal. That just explained how all of it worked. If you need to recap of that, then yeah. Here we say happy birthday to my friend Kino. We're both huge friends. Well, happy birthday, Kino. Hope you're having a good day. So, okay. Press Y. Spectral Energy. Dirt Enclosure. Resistance buff. Energy Shield. Golems, Essence Grenade, Propulsions, and Anti-Gravity Arrows. That's a few different abilities, and I'm assuming they all get explained here, I hope. Oh, good God. Oh, okay. So if we go through our origin layers, we've got the anti-grav arrow. 1 arrow equals 2 ammos. Exactly what it sounds like. An arrow that does not fall to gravity. Can be fired every second and will kill basic 20 health mobs, zombies, skeletons, etc. in 3 hits. Cannot be fired when actively raising a shield and will despawn itself after 30 seconds of existence to prevent yourself from coming across random floating arrows that you shot in the past. Can be comboed very quickly. Oh, and there's also a strategy. I'm not going to read the strategy. That's more important for the people actually trying to survive with this. So, if we get ourselves an arrow, right click, we get 2 anti-gravity arrows. If we use our... We step back a little bit. Primary ability. Bonk. Sheep over there. Bonk. Sheep just down there in the distance. Bonk. That's pretty cool. Cow in the distance over there. Bonk. That cow. Bonk. That's actually really cool. So with this ability, with the use of arrow, right-clicking arrows into your ammo pool, you can shoot them without any gravity. Of course, you do not have any special enchants for these arrows. They're basic arrows that do a lot of damage in comparison to normal things, but that's all they're good for. They're pretty much straight and narrow. They will never fall to gravity, which means you can be a lot more accurate with them because you can simply just point in a direction and it will just go in that direction. See that sheep over there? If I can point it, there we are, and you smack it. That sheep over there through the grass, bonk. That sheep there, I ran out of arrows. That sheep there, bonk. Pretty neat ability, actually. Next is your Spectral Shot. This will take 1 glowstone dust. Canonically, it is a projectile of pure energy, but is technically just a spectral arrow. Spectral shots will pierce 3 times, damage 4 enemies in total, and set them on fire. Unlike the anti-gravity arrow, this does not have the shield limitation, nor does it ignore gravity. This will pierce Essence Grenades and not Wardens or Ender Dragons. Keep in mind, it won't pierce Wardens or Ender Dragons. 1 Spectral Shot only has the energy to activate 1 Essence Grenade, though it will always pierce. Particles are for visual effect only. Okay. So now with this one, I want to get myself some glowstone dust. And I want to set up a little bit of a training thing. So we get a little fence over here. We come down here to our little open flat area. We just are going to fence in a couple of people. As we get this, we get ourselves a husk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is fine. So now we're in the spectral energy. 1 glowstone dust equals 1 spectral energy. Then we use that ability. Oh, that is cool. I love those effects. Let's see how we do it again. Boink. Voink. Voink. That is really interesting. What if we just put a bunch of zombies in there, and we just get ourselves a bunch of spectral energy, and then we just start rapid firing in there. This is just deadly. That is pretty powerful and really cool at the same time. Dirt enclosure, 33 dirt. Dirt enclosure is a physical structure that forms around your character and below your feet. It is a 3x3 dirt floor and 2x3 walls excluding corners. This will not overwrite and replace existing blocks other than stuff like grass. So, okay. Bonk, got the dirt enclosure. Get rid of our inventory of stuff. Get some dirt. So if we... Wow, that requires so much dirt. Anyway. So if we go up into the air with this one... Oh. We'll literally use it to go bonk. What if we go into survival mode here? So we go to survival mode here. We take a leap of faith. Bonk. That's really cool. Just a bit of a dirt enclosure. It blocks off anyone's ability to access you because it's a 2x2. Whoa, so we jump again. Hey zombie, bye. Oh no, oh no, oh no, he's in here, he's in here, he's in here. Nope, 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 nope. That's a pretty interesting ability. Not the one I was looking for. Clear. Cool. Get out of here, Rain. Nobody wants you, Rain. Rain, Rain, go away. Boy, boy. We'll talk to you another day. Resistance buff. This requires 1 shield. This applies resistance 1 for 50 seconds. What else is there to say? Well, actually, the strategy. Oh my god. Yeah, this... So, one thing I'll just give some massive credit to the creator. They went through the effort to give you like a full-on way to utilize these abilities together with a good strategy effect down here, which is pretty cool. So... Get ourselves some shields. We go to our resistance buff. We right click the shield in there. And now we got some resistance buff. So we go over here. We press G. We got resistance for 50 seconds. I am stuck against a wall. And now we run. That's a creeper. That's even worse. So wait, what's going to recharge first? mean, there's not much else to talk about with this one. That's useless. Yeah, it's resistance for about 50 seconds. I mean, cool beans. It is just one of those type of abilities. Pretty self-explanatory in the cover. Though, the cooldown will reset before the ability runs out, which is an interesting little bit of note. Energy Shield. This requires 6 gold ingots. Applies Absorption 3 for 25 seconds. 2 hearts less than an enchanted golden apple. This is more of an emergency defense option to save your life in critical situations. It's an effect that only lasts 25 seconds and is significantly more expensive than a resistance bus. Okay, so we go over here, we grab ourselves gold. We go to the energy shield. Bonk, 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 bonk. Jump down. So basically... Oh no! I'm about to die! Pop! Bye! That's pretty interesting. I mean, there's not much more to that one. It just gives you a nice little buff. It's a bit of an emergency situation ability, like he said. Golem Reinforcement requires 1 iron block. Summons an iron golem on top of you to aid you in battle. These are special golems that will not only stay loyal like physically built golems, but they also deal a little more damage than a normal golem. Any mob killed by a reinforcement golem will also have looting 2 applied to their drops. What? I'm sorry, but... all that for 1 iron block, bro. So if we go down here, again, with our friendly husk over there. Hey boy, how you doing? Poof! Hey yo, how you doing, buddy? Oh no, help me, Golem. I'm being attacked. Oh no. Oh, he's dead. Oh no, Golem. Help me. Oh, he's dead. That's way less expensive than a built Golem. Yeah, it is way less expensive. It also does stupid damage. What is this? That's interesting. I don't know whether they consider this. This is definitely very powerful because it literally gives you the ability to summon a golem like that, and it's also cheaper than the average built golem. It also has looting too on its kills, which is a little bit powerful. I don't know. That's interesting, that one. Essence Grenade, 1 redstone dust. Creates a somewhat large floating never star that moves forward at a slow velocity. Usage. Shooting an Essence Grenade with either an anti-gravity arrow or a spectral shot will cause the nearest 4 mobs within a 10 block radius to be launched vertically into the air via strong levitation for a brief amount of time. Can be shot/used twice before it breaks and disappears. Spectral shots will completely pierce Essence Grenades as they will activate them. If the grenade comes in physical contact with another mob or a block, it will break instantly without applying levitation to anything. Oh. There are downsides there, but I haven't quite got to them. like, skipping over this. Like, there is a bunch of debuffs here that are actually pretty bad for you. Like, just a brief read over as I'm scrolling through. Like, they are pretty not fun debuffs to get in turn. Okay. Actually, since this won't be a part of the video, to those watching the stream, basically, you can't use armor. And that blue bar is your timer for running around. If you run around for the entirety of it without stopping, let's say you're running away from a fight, it will just knock out your movement entirely with slowness 3. So you can't wear armor, and your sprint is very limited by a bar that if you sprint again, boom, dead. Like, it is not fun. Downsides. And I'm pretty sure there are more there too. That was just what I got from looking at it. So, Essence Grenade. We use one here. So, I think the best way of doing this is to get some mobs in here. I'll lure you over to the golem. And then you just do... Oh. That's cool. And it sits there. So if we cycle around again to the arrows, get some more arrows in us. And we just hit it. Bump. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty neat ability. That does require you to actually combo it with your other abilities in order to set it off, but that's pretty neat. Sonic Propulsion. 1 Skulk Block or 1 Glow Elytron. Movement ability that launches you in the direction that you're facing once the sonic boom particles explode, quote unquote. Its power is comparable to a trident enchanted with Riptide 2. Cannot be used while actively in elytra flight or when submerged in water. They make vibrations on launch unless you're sneaking, and the direction of the sonic boom vibrations when you use the propulsion ability will not direct where you go. The actual boom sound marks where you get propelled in the direction that you are looking at in that moment. Okay. So if we get ourselves a bunch of skull blocks, that's what you need for this. So, oh, so boom, zonk. So we do that. Oh, ow! I get it. The Iron Golem found him. So basically, it's like that. It's like most other abilities that let you launch yourself. Just this time around, it has a degree of predictability. So you point in a direction, you press the ability, you see some effects go off, so you can see the direction it's going to propel you, meaning that you can use it and fling yourself. That's fair. Which is pretty interesting, actually. So you can just look in a direction, press it, and vonk. You can't use it with an elytra delivery, man. This will specifically not work whilst you're in an elytra. Though, what you can do is you propel yourself up and then use the elytra. You just can't use it once you're in the air. So it definitely has its use for elytra. It's more you want to use it to get in the air in the first place. Yeah, you can still use an elytra afterwards, so you can just use it to propel yourself into the air. So, okay. So now we go through the legendary abilities. Supreme Spectacle. 1 Crying Obsidian. Fires a barrage of high damage lasers for a specific period of time. You can only fire the lasers after the activation delay and they are fired automatically. Each laser deals 14 damage on hit, which will pierce through any resistance effects or protection enchantments. It also applies slowness 1 and glowing for 12 seconds to the target. What? Okay. You get Crying Obsidian. The Iron Golem's still alive, of course. Boom, boom. With that, bonk. Commencing. Oh, this has got a long cooldown. Go. While we wait for the cooldown to keep going. Cooldown's gonna take a little bit of time. I don't know. Go over there, and then we go back. So, laser beam goes. Brrrr. That's a cool ability. I like that. I like that a lot. Then your other legendary ability is the Pinnacle of Manipulation. This requires 1 Echo Shard. This ability will first levitate you into the air slowly and cause a number of audio and particle signals. After the activation phase is complete, 3 raycast lasers are then unleashed in the direction that you are looking up to a range of 30 blocks, which will cause a high power explosion on either block or entity impact. Unlike Spectral Supreme, this ability cannot travel through water or other fluids, and thus will explode on impact as if they were solid blocks. Attempting to fire Pinnacle of Manipulation underwater may prove to be suicidal. So if we get ourselves Eco Shard and press bonk, Pinnacle of Manipulation is on standby, boys and girls. You ready to reach the Pinnacle of Manipulation with this ode? Yes, now time for another laser. We just wait for it to cool down, the ability to cool down, so I can use it again. Come on. Commencing. Yeah, that's wowzers. Boom, one might say. That's cool. That is hilarious. It requires an eco shard. Basically, you have to play with within the Warden's dimension in order to get yourself this ability, and you can only use it once for an eco shard. But that is cool. Anyway, now we move on to the other abilities to this origin. Now we've gone through all the magic. First, you have Atmospheric Siphon. You naturally siphon magic from the air around you, which naturally buffs your immune system. Basically, you have Regen 1 permanently. As you can see, regeneration, which is continuously ticking up, it is basically the beacon effective of it. Agility over defense. You and your people tend to prefer to be able to move around rather than wear armors. You cannot wear anything that provides armor in the chest or leg armor slots, with the exception of Neverite leggings and Neverite leather leggings and Neverite chest plates. Why can you wear? However, your base movement speed is much higher than a normal player. That's weird. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we get armor, so this is the best armor set you can wear. I'm gonna be completely honest here to the Origin creator. I don't know if he's watching this or if he will, but I think this is probably the one ability where I just make it so that you don't have armor. Just to make it so that you are practically a glass cannon. You're not in a figurative sense because you can still survive a fair bit, but in most cases you won't really survive too long if you do get yourself into a lot of combat. I don't know. I'd feel like this is a little bit much armor for what you can do as this Origin. I don't know. I guess it'd be up to the opinion of people watching, really. Untrained warrior. You're not very good with physical weapons. You have permanent weakness too when using swords or axes. Whoa. There. Which should mean... So, 1 damage for 9 axe, no damage with diamond swords. Okay, so you pretty much can't use physical weapons. They effectively don't work for you. That's fair. Limited stamina. You are able to passively agile because of the raw energy coursing through your body, not because of your physical fitness. So yeah, because of the energy, you've got this blue bar that allows you to move at a pretty fast speed. But this blue bar is a signal of how much you can run. The moment this bar runs out, you won't be able to run anymore, and you'll be given slowness 2, slowness 3 for a few seconds. And this will continue to go, because the bar won't go back to full. It has to slowly recharge when you're not moving, which is, I would say, it's pretty major when it comes to your movement. It does massively knock your movement out of existence. Oh, it keeps going. You have a stamina bar that gets used up when you sprint. If you run out of stamina, your movement speed will decrease that of a normal player with slowness 3. Stamina will passively regenerate when you're not sprinting or off the ground. Killing anything with at least 15 maximum HP will allow you to convert some of its life energy into a stamina, and eating a golden apple will restore 85% of your stamina. Huh. That's overall really cool Origin. Definitely very overpowered, but cool and fun nevertheless. Now we move on to the next one. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. I can't run the mod on my phone. Yeah, it's because Origins as a whole is mostly a Java mod. There are Bedrock conversions that people have created, but you're not going to get anywhere near the same experience from those conversions as you would from the actual normal version of the mod. You get my drift? You're the reason why I even know about Origins there. Fair enough. I feel like it is for a lot of people, which is pretty interesting. But I've also noticed that some people who have made some Origins that I'm showcasing in these 2 streams did not even know of my existence, which is also pretty neat. So now, we go on to the next Origin. The next Origin is the Hydra Origin created by the user known as Xeon. I think that's what his name is. I don't know if he's still here, but I would say it's Xeon? I hope that's right. This is a 3-impact origin. A mythical creature famed for its regeneration and immortality. It possesses both poison and venom and can even kill a god. You have 8 extra lives that can regrow given time, or by laying waste to your enemies. In return, you are also extremely vulnerable to fire, lava, and temperature. Let's get into this origin. Bonk. 2, 1. Bye-bye regen. Boop. Oh, this origin has its own regen. Interesting. Oh yeah, it's a different type of regen. What? Dies of sunburn. I see 2 new bars. Yeah, there are bars there. 9-headed. You have 8 extra heads that regenerate over time. I am going to assume that is one of the 2 bars that are currently moving. I believe. I believe, at least. And it's dead. Bye-bye, chicken. Wait. Oh, it's a blue bar, maybe? I don't know. I guess we'll figure this out as we go along, baby. I see 2 new... Green bar is for heads, but it takes a fairly decent amount of time to regen just by standing there. Fair enough. Blue bar is your rage. Ah. Right, let's get ourselves a Mosskin, just a sword, because we want to... Anything more is spoilers. I assume we find out what that is at a later point. Probably. Autonomy 1. And you can regenerate from death if you have an extra head. Autonomy 2. The more heads you lose, the less max health you have. Autonomy 3. In return, you cannot use any totems of undying. Wait. So, Sorry, I'm just trying to figure this one out. So, you use your extra heads to cheat death. Once this ability is activated, all negative potion effects are cleared, and you get resistance 1, absorption 2, and strength 2 for a short period of time. Doing this reduces your max HP. And this is where we do the fun thing. No relevant score holders found. Fair enough. So if you die and lose some of the green bar and you come back to life? Maybe? Ah. No, it's not going to have anything. Yep, as expected. Hydra heads 8. Ah. Okay, so now that we're at full bar, it gives us full health again. And so let's say if we get ourselves a husk over here. Hey boy, how you doing? Bonk. Let's just let him kill me. He's fighting the regen really hard. Like, if you have regen 3 when you're at max. There it is. It takes a little bit of your head health. Oh! I get it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm assuming each green section, each like little green section of the bar is the equivalent of a head. So when you have a full bar, you have 8 heads in total. So when you lose a head, it will knock the bar down by a little bit. And so okay, you can lose another head, and then we get absorption all that again. And then another head. And then another head. And then another head. Another head, and it just keeps decreasing your health at the same time. Absorption, resistance, hunger, and strength. I should move away before they kill me. That's really neat. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm tired. Ugh. Oh, shivvy timbers. I need to stop. This makes you somewhat tanky. Yeah, effectively, if you get yourself in, if they can get you into a low enough health range to start knocking off your heads, you'll start to see yourself losing health quickly. But you can last a little bit. Break, and break, and that's it, isn't it? One last one, and then dead. And we're only at 2 hearts at the lowest amount of health. Wow. So for 1 head, you have 2 hearts. 2 heads, 3. Then we put up 2. Then you're at 4. Next level at 3. Then you're at 5. 4. Then you're at 6. 5. Then you're at 7. So as you get more heads back, yeah, your health goes back to full. And at maximum heads of 8, you have a full 10 hearts again. That's pretty neat. And then, of course, the more heads you have... So, yeah. In return, you can't use any totems of undying. So let's see how this functions. So if we... That's not enough to do anything. Let's go all the way up. I just pressed Q. What an idiot. Drop. That didn't use the totem. Okay, if we set our heads to 0, and then we go up. Yep, totems just don't work. That's pretty interesting. Totems are just gone. No totem for you. Totem be gone. 8. Regeneration. You have a passive regenerate effect of all times. It's just regeneration 1 at most cases, which is pretty neat. I don't know. I'm just being an idiot. What? Regeneration amplification. Your regeneration rate increases the lower your health becomes. So if we go up, we take a little bit of fall damage. We now have regeneration 2 at half health, so our health will jump back pretty quickly. And then it'll go back to normal regeneration once we get high enough in the hearts. If we take even more damage, this shouldn't kill me. We then have regeneration 4, which will then turn to regeneration 3, which then turns to regen 2, and then goes back down to regen 1 as your health increases back up to full. Pretty neat. Poisonous body. Every inch of your body is laced with potent venom. Anything less is laughable. You're immune to the effects of all wither and poison. So what? If we command give 𝓵𝓷𝓷𝓴𝓼 the wither effect, unable to apply this effect, target is either immune to effects or has something stronger. Yep. Then we go poison, and then the same thing happens. You can't take it. Simple as it is, my friend. Whoa. Lethal venom. There is no toxin more devastating than that which can kill. There is no toxin more devastating than that of which can kill a god. All of your attacks inflict severe withered damage. Your poison's potency decreases in hotter weather, however. So, what's a high health mob that doesn't attack? Bum 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 dee doo. Nah, just go Ravager. Bonk. So, in this weather here, $10 damage. If we, let's say, go over to the snowy mountains over here, punch. Still 10 damage? Is it to do a time? Set midnight. Do it again. Hotter weather, not colder weather. Okay, so it doesn't affect going down to colder. Ba-dum, ba, wow, wow, wow. There we are. Bonk. Stomp. Ah. That's interesting. So in hotter weather, let's say a desert, your wither effect is a lot less effective. Also, you have some other things, which we'll go over soon. Oh, because rage. Carnival hunger. You crave the blood of your enemies. The more you hurt them, the more your primal rage is sated. Being hurt greatly dissatisfies you, however. So, as we can see, we're at maximum rage, which means that we have Absorption 5, Fire Resistance, Fire Resistance, and Saturation. If we do just, go back to over here, time set. Day, back where there won't be as much of an issue with desert annoyances. Where's the Ravager I spawned? I swear there'd be a Ravager around here somewhere. Maybe this one died, whatever. Getting out again, let's get back to max. Bang, 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 bang. And one more time. And now we're at max rage. So yeah, you have Absorption 5. Which, if I want to do this... Which means that you double your health bar. Fire resistance... Oh shoot, you can hit me from there. Not nice. I did not expect that. You're rude. Spoil my ability. Rude. Mean. You're an asshole. Take it. Take it, you. Okay, now we're back here. So yeah, you have double your health bar with absorption. Big boy. Get higher. You have fire resistance. And a saturation boost. Pretty neat. Primal growth. Once your lust for bloodshed is sated, you regain one lost head and shed your skin for temporary fire resistance. So wait, if we if we take damage, and then we resource our heads down to 7, and then we get back to max. We get another head, and then we get fire resistance. Oh! Oh, okay. So, if you do not already have max heads, when you max out the blue bar by dealing damage to your enemies, it will reset the blue bar back to 0, but give you another head, as well as give you temporary fire resistance. Fair enough. Overheating. Your body is not suited for the extreme heat. You take significantly increased fire damage. You also cannot gain the effects of a fire resistance potion. Oh, we killed the Ravager. I live for when players go, oh, that's how that works. So get ourselves a flint and steel. Grab ourselves a lava bucket. And because the Ravager died, let's go back to survival here. Pop goes the weasel. Holy dooly. Oh. It also doesn't pop your heads when you're in lava either. That's interesting. So what if I take... Ah. So with this, not only will fire hurt drastically, lava will practically insta-kill you, it also will not pop the autonomy ability. It will not break one of your heads to give you the ability to live for a little bit longer. Mainly because, well, what's the point in that? You'll just burn through all your revives anyway. That's interesting. So it's both punishing but also nice at the same time, because it does mean that you can't just save yourself if you touch lava. It will just practically insta-kill you, but it also won't destroy all your heads for touching lava. That will just be null and voided. I would say that's both a good and a bad thing with how that works. It just means that if you touch fire and die to fire, you're guaranteed to die, but you won't be punished drastically by losing your heads. Interesting. Fiery inversion. Your cells denature easily, stopping you from regeneration if you are ever set on fire without any fire resistance. And yeah, as we said before, the only way you can get fire resistance is via your rage, which you can only get the fire resistance when you max out the rage. So, yeah. If we... bonk. I don't know how to do this, sorry. I'm a little idiot. So, if we get ourselves some water here, pump in there. Whatever. So if we step in there, your fire regeneration's gone. So let's get out. But then, if we get ourselves a Ravager, again, put him over here, tap him. Tap him again. These Ravagers are not having a good day. They're just getting bullied. And again. And now that we're maxed out, I should probably... So now we're maxed out in Rage, we can now step forth into the fire without having any of the effects affect you because you got fire resistance. Be wary though, if you take damage at any time, And the fire resistance goes. You no longer have your regen, and now you're just slowly dying to fire. Unfortunate for you. Oh my god, you live. Fire demise, if you're set on fire, you can no longer revive from lethal damage. Take care not to repeat the mistakes of your ancestors. We've already seen that one. You know what it is. It's just mean you don't have your revival go off whenever you're in fire. That's both punishing for touching the fire, but also pretty nice because it doesn't burn through your heads for touching said fire. As I said, it's a mixed one whether you believe that's a good thing or not. You can gain more rage quickly if you keep hitting mobs while they wither. Fair enough. Ethrometric. Although you thrive in temperature, moderate climates, extreme temperatures... although you thrive in temperate, moderate climates, extreme temperatures make your body either sluggish or tired. You're inflicted with weakness in hotter biomes and slowness in colder biomes. Huh. So if you go over to a colder biome over here, now you've got slowness on top of your regeneration. If we... go back over to the desert over here, you'll lose your slowness, but instead, you'll have weakness. Which is not fun. Not fun, not fun at all. Uncoordinated. Being a snake in a human form, your limbs are less dexterous and thus you cannot wield a shield. Ah, the classic unwieldy. That one just means, you see the shield? No matter how much you right click, you can't use it. It's just, it is what it is. Boop. Bye shield. No one wants you. Ba ba ba. Ba da 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 do do do. Right. That was a pretty interesting origin. I like it. Good on you. Foo. What was it? I've already gone on to another. Fuck. But good origin, mate. Good on. It's not unwieldy. It's uncoordinated. Same difference, but you do you. Now, we move on to the last origin of the lot. Control C, Control V, amigo. The last origin of this 10 is the Spiritual Lich, created by the user known as 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼. This is a 3-impact origin. Having traded their soul for immortality, these former mages must now subsist on the souls of others. Let's go into it. Ethereal form. Your body can be temporarily destroyed, and when that happens, you'll drop your items and you'll go into your ethereal form. You'll be able to fly and phase until your body is completely restored after some waiting time. Or you can punch a mob with no soul or one of your summoned spirits while you're in your ethereal form to take their body. This is interesting. Shall we come over here? We do some tingamy-tings. Bum bum bum. Ba da 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 don don don. So if we get ourselves just a handful of husk over here, and we die to them. Come, take me. Whoa, that's cool. So now you die. Punch. Oh, and you come back, and now they're gonna chase you, and then poof. That's awesome. I love that. Back down to Earth we go. Hey, hey, Husk, hey, Husk. Bye! I'm back! Haha! Suck it! Bye-bye! I am the best. The very... Oh no, oh no, oh no. Run away! Run away! Run away! I'm just gonna run in circles around you. Oh. Well. This is interesting. Hey, buddy. I'll take your life. Bye-bye! Have a great time! Hey, how you doing? Is there a limit? No, because every time you do this... So you see, I'll do this again. Just for demonstration purpose. So I'm now back in my human form. If I get killed again, I lose my items. My items are just dropped. Now we just have to wait. It also looks like the more often you do this, the longer the wait cooldown is when you are in your ghost form. Because last time, the form was immediately already decreasing. This time round, it's still maxed out. It's going to be a pretty big waiting period. Maybe there is a limit. Because the noises are changing. Back. No, we're just back to this again. That's pretty cool though. Next, spiritual magic. Instead of punching others, you'll use magic to attack. It will make the target weak and slow and deal really low but unblockable damage. This is with your left button. Oh, so this will do bonk, 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 bonk. It's basically you got punches, but they can't be blocked and they look cool. Bomb, 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 bink, bonk, donk. Dink. Bonk, donk. And also, when this happens, it gives them slowness and weakness, which means they can't hurt you anywhere near as easy either. Next is Spirit Hunter. You kill entities in order to get their spirit. You can cause their spirit you can use their spirit you gathered, transforming them to aid you by using your primary key. You can use a shield or a sword in your offhand plus primary key to summon different kinds of spirits. Wherever you look, spirits will collect souls for you and die after 15 minutes. You can summon hunter spirits by using your primary with your offhand empty. They will act like team wolves and aid you. You can summon guardian spirits by using your primary with a shield in your offhand. They won't follow you but will attack hostile mobs nearby. And you can summon vengeful spirits by using the primary with any sword in your offhand. They will attack anything on site, including passive mobs and players. Okay. Okay. So with nothing in your hands, you got dogs. I just realized you instantly kill any mob you possess. Can you use this to instantly kill, say, the warden? I don't know. That will be find out later. We gotta go through. So we got spirit dogs. So let's get a sword. Put that in our offhand, and then we press it. Oh, yep, we've now got a golem spirit, effectively. And if we put a sword in our offhand, oh, those are hoglins. So if we just put down a husk here, and then we also put down a cow. So when it comes to the cow, the red spirit, yeah, the red spirits will go straight for him. If I hit him, then our dog spirits will go straight for him. If we come over to our golem spirits and we do a zombie, everything will come and attack it except for the dogs. And if I get sent up, I can then come down and then take that spirit and become me. That's pretty cool. I like that. Decayed body. Due to your weak undead body, you only have 8 hearts and you take 40% more damage, deal 20% less damage, and you're also an undead creature. Ah, I see, I see. But this also means if I get myself out, instant damage. And use it on myself, I have full health again. Do that. But yeah, I take a lot of damage. Though the spirit's coming quickly to say, no, that ain't happening. Hey, cow. That's cool. I like this origin. That's pretty neat. And dead body. You are in between life and death, and because of that, your body can only be healed by consuming the spirits you gathered with your secondary ability. So the only way to heal with this origin, because you have no natural regeneration, is by using your secondary ability on these guys. Oh, it consumes your spirit bar and you'll heal a little bit. Secondary to heal some more. That was pretty interesting. I like that. That's a pretty neat origin. I just love all the effects here. Like, they're absolutely beautiful as always. 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼's pretty good at doing the effects, so good on them. But that will be it for all of the origins for the month. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for the 2 different streams. I did want to do 5 of them yesterday, but as I said, my throat just kind of kicked the bucket after the shenanigans with the fake origin. But thank you guys all for coming along. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit the like button down below. Make sure to subscribe, and as always, you can send super chats. You can become a channel member. It's very helpful. It helps me continue to do what I'm enjoying with this type of stuff. But until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next stream. Bye bye.